Hello, my darlings. Good evening, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle ATL by Night. Chapter 2, Off It Went. Let's meet our vampires.
I'm Brittany T and I play Melisende.
I'm Ian E. Muller, and I play Jackson.
Hi, I'm Salem and I play Esme.
Hi, I'm Kimchi, and I play Jenni.
My name is Tyler Sutherland, playing Aaron Ulrich.
And I'm your storyteller, Ellie Collins. Don't forget to check out all of our sponsors in our link tree and use the code ATL by Night at By Night Studios for 10% off your order. I believe that is all of our announcements for now. So why don't we sit back and relax and let's tell a vampire story. I'm a savage, drop the classic, thinking back, drop the classic, too established, let the magic, saw the magic, got a magic, who was that, living legend, meet the weapon, mastermind, never tried, tell them all, big dreams, I got big dreams just like baby, I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team, jumping off of buildings used to be so stimulating, now I'm reaching new heights, I'ma need the off-white. Play with the fire, you get burned. All of my struggles became lessons well learned. I got desires that keep me grounded, that's for sure. Cause one day we gon' make it out this earth. Where's your worth? I'm thinking you're talking, you got the wrong one. I'm taking your king and I leave him broke. If I give him a second, it's after no one. Just give me a second to let him know. I'm the deadline, I'm the head time, the red pine. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon. Big time. Tonight, Mel and Aaron, you have both been notified by Eleme of a memo that has gone out to the staff of all Atlanta hospitals. Blood bags have been locked up, and there is currently no access to any of them. Eleme has been scrambling to find a solution that can be implemented quickly, and you all need to get creative before people start starving, if they haven't already. And tonight you've traveled out to meet up with Denise to check on progress of security in their area. So you arrive and Denise is sitting on the front porch, waving to the both of you coming in. What will you do?
Walk right up.
Yeah. I'm gonna let him take the lead on this since this is kind of his place.
Just, hey, how are you two doing?
Staying busy.
Very, very exhausted.
I don't blame you.
It's been a little busy lately.
And yourself? Any reprieve? Restful nights?
Never. But we are preparing for one of the lost childer graduating soon, so getting her house prepared.
Which one?
Jenni.
Oh.
I believe you all picked her up.
She's still in one piece. That's good to hear.
Causing trouble, from what I hear as well.
Also good to hear.
You guys want to come in?
Of course.
Sure. And she will lead you into the house and upstairs and into her office to make sure to shut the door. The house is still running amok, full of gangrel. The twins are actually currently in the process of moving a bunch of furniture in the house. Thankfully not cooking this time. But she brings you all into the office and sits down and goes, so if you guys are here, that means Eleme told you what's going on.
Yes.
Your Waffle House supplies are going to dry up pretty quickly.
I know, and I've already got some pretty angry customers.
Yeah. We don't know how this started. The memo, I'm sure it was forwarded to you, Aaron. The hospitals have decided that because there has been such a heavy theft problem, they are taking steps to protect the humans, which I can't entirely blame them for.
So, is there any way that we could create our own blood bags, so to speak?
That's a possibility, though you'll run some moral afoul on that.
Well, I'm wondering if there wouldn't be some kind who might be interested in providing, especially if they're paid well.
It's definitely a possibility. Seneschal, what do you think?
Do we have a count of how many ghouls we have in the city?
I don't personally have that on me, but I can get that number for you.
My idea is it may be easier to draw from a source that we know of. However many kindred may be willing to share would be greatly appreciated by the Camarilla.
Yeah, I believe that we could provide some sort of, in-kind contribution, so to speak.
I'll get those numbers for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it could be that we have a safe house where we are housing the people who are donating that, so that we don't have a run on
The bank.
the bank. Yeah.
Proctor's silo still sits empty.
I hate the idea of putting them somewhere where they're completely away from everything, though. I think they need to be protected, but still have some access to freedom. I don't know if there is any way to do both of those things, though.
That's the problem is, I don't think this was the SI. If we're perfectly honest, we have not been as careful as we should have been.
Yes, that's definitely true.
But if the SI, for lack of a better term, smells blood in the water, they'll come after what little supply they think we can scrounge up.
It may be worthwhile to check whatever blood bags we find. This might be an opportunity for the SI to supply some more tainted bags. Just because we find a cache of bags, we should still check it.
Yeah, actually,
Absolutely.
That's very smart.
Absolutely. I'll get the twins on it, despite obvious limitations of them. They're pretty good bloodhounds.
I do also wonder if, while the hospitals are currently locking their bags, there is a distribution handoff that happens from the Red Cross often. So I wonder if there isn't any way that we could...
As far as we can tell, this initiative came from Life South.
I see. Okay.
Life South is the one who has been reporting their trucks getting carjacked or theft coming from them directly, as well as theft within the hospital. But as they are the most common collection point, they were the ones that alerted the hospitals to why they have been giving them dwindling supplies.
So this is now a citywide issue with literally every distribution end.
Yes.
I see.
That's a lot of hungry mouths.
Yeah, it's also a lot of questions being asked by the kind as to why blood, of all things, is being stolen.
Exactly.
Have we not considered what that looks like? What are they going to think?
Best I can work up with Dot is that the hospitals have been notified of the theft. It seems that the current theory is underground crime.
Can we get out ahead of this in a PR way? I feel like there needs to be something that gets...
Dot is attempting.
Okay.
She is trying to figure out how we can paint a bit of a mafia movie here in Atlanta.
I love that.
Underground doctors needing them for transfusions for people who should not show up to hospitals.
Well, given the current state of our healthcare system, their healthcare system, it would make sense that people would need to retrieve supplies without going through a hospital or the medical system.
Precisely, and given the theatrics of this city, if they believe that there is a bit of a mafia urban legend going on,
Sure.
turns all attention off of us.
That's very smart.
Mel, at what point do you think we need to start rationing?
Well, I can say, at least for Elysium, that Waffle Houses don't close. So I don't have the capacity to shut the doors to keep people from coming in. So they're going to come in and they're going to want. Telling them no is not going to be pretty.
Best I can do, since Elysium is honored by all, I can have Mooney increase the Garu presence in Waffle House. Get them to go there a little bit more often. Kindred will be too afraid to go in. We don't want them too scared to go to Elysium, but then that at least might keep people only coming in emergencies.
I think there needs to be some sort of a... Yeah, I don't know how I feel about intentionally keeping Kindred away, but I don't know that there is another alternative because I don't want to have altercations happening for no good reason.
Maybe we do it directionally around the city. Start northeast and start funneling to even Proctor's asylum or silo. At some point we can not just turn them away and then not know where they're getting their blood.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Okay, I'll talk to Mooney and see what I can do. And she picks up her phone. She goes, "Oh, well." And as she puts down her phone, "Jenny, you've received word that you'll be graduating soon and being turned over to your primogen, Denise. And tonight, Jackson, Denise has tasked you with bringing Jenny over to the compound, as there are still some important details you have not shared with Denise."
I don't know what to talk about.
And so, please make me Dex and Drive to take Jenny over.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Okay. It's a decent drive. Jenny, Robin has sat in your lap during this trip out to the Gangrel compound, and you guys pull up and you see Aaron and Mel's vehicles here too.
Oh. Well, this will be interesting.
And so, Jenny, you pull up to this house that you have never seen before. It's a beautiful cherry wood log cabin with a green roof, something straight out of a, forest living magazine. And around it are tiny homes, all with their own styles, painted their own ways, decorated their own ways. And there is a bustling amount of maybe 10 to 15 gangrels running about.
Don't eat anything the twins make you. You'll know who the twins are by appearance. I don't think I need to elaborate. Trust me. They don't know the difference between salt and sugar.
This is nice. This isn't like some cabin in the woods type shit, is it though?
No, just all the gangrel who don't live elsewhere live here.
There's like a colony of meat?
Yep.
Are we a pack? Gaggle?
Kind of. Gaggle is probably more accurate.
Oh, okay.
I actually point at one of the tiny homes. I was like, I used to live there. Well, one of several places.
Nice.
I'm a transient.
So, hi-ho?
Yeah, Denise is really nice and scary. Just forewarning. I watched her just straight rip someone's head off.
So basically, you're telling me to behave.
She can hurt you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Any questions?
Would I like it?
Maybe.
Intriguing.
All right, and so as you guys walk in, Jenny, you go up onto a large wraparound porch, and going into the house, there's a couple younger ones running through, and you see 2 identical twin, very muscly, very attractive himbos that are carrying around some furniture, currently arguing the difference between a dining room chair and just a chair. Does this one go in the dining room? No, that's clearly just a chair. What's the difference between a chair and a dining room chair? And they keep talking themselves in circles. And Denise leaves from your meeting, leaving the door open for the 2 of you to follow, and comes out onto the top level railing. And, hey, Jackson. So this is Jenny.
Yep.
You 2 come up here.
This is gonna be interesting. Also, did I see Mel and Aaron's car outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, as you guys go up, you go into kind of a general home office. There's just a basic IKEA desk with way too many papers and coffee mugs that have never been drank, but Denise, as you know, Jackson likes to just huff the smell of coffee. And she brings you in, and Jenny, you see these two sitting there.
Howdy.
Hi there.
Long time no
Right.
see.
I know you.
I
See you.
We
Too.
had much different circumstances last
Very.
time. Are you doing? How are you?
I have a congregation now.
Really? Men, women.
Raccoons.
Great.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
When do you meet?
Well, it's up to our Lord and Savior, but we just come when he calls.
Gotcha.
His name's Dustpin.
Gotcha.
I will never not be fascinated by Gangrel. Never. It's just always something new.
And Jackson, Denise has not stopped staring at you since you entered the room.
Hi. So, stuff happened.
Always.
I can tell. What happened?
Well, you know how I was unembraced?
Vaguely.
I was re-embraced. Re-embraced, that's weird.
By who? Because it's not a gangrel.
Nope.
By who?
I believe the clan is known as Ravnos.
Anyway, Seneschal.
Let's back up a moment.
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah. What?
Do you remember the party?
Oh,
Yes.
you didn't tell them.
I actually, out of character, I did text you about all this at some point.
Yeah, but Denise is eating this up.
Yeah.
The awkwardness.
So something happened at the party that I distinctly know exactly who to blame, but I don't have proof. And I can touch on that later. I was taken to the SI facility and unvampired.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What?
Yep.
How?
Fucked if I know.
There was the point, Mel, where I had the La Sombra blood. I just imagine that they took that a step further.
I don't. It was very painful. I do not remember pain trauma, PTSD, all that fun stuff. I don't remember exactly what happened, so I don't know if it was the same thing, but I can make an assumption.
Okay, let's fast forward to the whole re-embraced part.
You had you had the opportunity to stop being kindred, and you went back to it.
Yeah,
Curious.
I am more useful as a kindred than a human.
That's deep.
One last question. I realize this is very abrasive.
That's fine.
You still have human connections? Yes?
Kind of.
Okay. How are they taking this?
The same way they were before.
Gotcha. So you just were a little bit more lively for a few months and then back to
Yep.
pale, essentially.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And as the two of you are looking at him a little more now, you see that Jackson has aged approximately 4 to 5 years. 5 years. Or no, yes, it was 10. It was 10 years.
Mel is
Facial hair and all.
legitimately very, very distraught, very upset, and silent as a result.
Yeah.
Ravnos, we don't have not a place, but a standing with them in this city.
They're not part of the Camarilla.
Okay. Well, I hope that
They're
you
not
know that
part of anything.
Denise has a place for you here. If not, we can work out something.
I wouldn't want to assume, but
Thanks,
I
Seneschal.
have I'm actually moving around a lot. I'm good.
I have spent centuries on this planet thinking that this is all there is.
Yeah.
And you're telling me it's not?
Apparently. This all just happened in, like, the last, like, literally since the last time I saw you, so.
Mel, I will warn you. Denise speaks up. I've heard legends and things of people becoming human again. The problem becomes how old you are, because time has a way of catching up with you.
Yes, but being able to be mortal again in that way.
You would maybe, at your age, get about 10 minutes of it before you rapidly age, decayed, and desiccated on the spot.
Yeah, what you see here happened in the matter of about 2 weeks. And I wasn't that old, frankly.
It's just a lot to take in.
No.
I have operated giving myself and my abilities to the Camarilla for centuries, thinking that I had to give because it's all I had. And now I'm finding out that I could have not had to continue to give for that long. It's just a lot.
Yep.
And I'm very sorry that you went through the pain part of it, but
From my understanding, this is a new development. They have been trying to build serums, as Aaron experienced, to try and find ways to fight us, and I imagine in their frustration of trying to amp themselves up to fight us, they have always had an affinity for trying to cure the disease of vampirism.
Ding.
well, I am happy that you're here now, but shocked, and it's gonna take a little bit to get back on the saddle again, because
Maybe this leads us to something regarding the usage of a lot of human blood.
sure.
We can talk about that not in front of the child.
Sure.
And she pulls out a small 3-ring binder and passes it to you, and she says, everyone here at the compound has their own tiny home. It leads you down into a tornado shelter so that you are covered from the sun and there's no possibility of anything happening to you. But this is a catalog of tiny homes. You can choose whatever you want from there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I haven't been more present before now. As you can tell, I practically run an overfilled daycare center here.
Accurate.
Seems fun.
It can be, especially when the werewolves come around and they run like cockroaches.
I was told I can't taste them.
No, you very much do not want to. Have you ever seen the Prodigy music video Smack My Bitch Up? It's like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a comparison.
You got one better, punk boy?
Nope, that's really accurate.
You will see werewolves around here. Just be on your best behavior, and yes, Streetwise smells like that on purpose.
Gotcha.
I found one that's almost as bad.
Oh?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't think he told me his name.
That's weird. They're usually proud of that shit.
They were trying to scare me off. Obvious reasons, I suppose. But
Huh.
yeah, no. Almost as bad.
I'll have to talk to
Vaguely
Mooney.
like dead rats.
Ugh,
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't understand Garu.
So Mel had switched, like, she's still very upset, but, like,
Yeah.
is, like, scrolling through her phone because she has the new Constitution on it, and she is, like, trying to figure out where she can put Ravnos in somewhere to make sure that he's safe, and, like, trying to figure out, like...
You did write in a clause that we had discussed previously about accepting any clan that was not represented, and they fell under Elijah or Alejandro's jurisdiction.
Okay.
Are you like muttering to yourself while you're doing it?
You would be able to see that, like, if you looked over her shoulder, you would be able to see, like, the heading section of each of them, and one is, like, just legal representation, acceptance of new clan, like, you would see that.
Miscellaneous.
Okay, listen, you don't want to read that part, I promise.
Do you remember how transient I was prior to this?
Yes.
This clan is by nature.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's not a
Are you trying to tell me you're not going to stick around in Atlanta?
No, I am for now.
Okay.
But,
No,
like,
they... You can't sleep in the same place twice, can you?
for a week.
For a week.
Well, I can, but I risk waking up with really bad sunburn. It's only happened twice.
Aaron is going to step back from the conversation and just connect with Jenny about the gossip at the school.
And so, Jenny, you are free to tell him whatever you wish.
So we have these people there that makes waffles and pancakes, and so I got these cat ears and I didn't know what to do with them.
Yes.
And so, I ripped Jesus' head off.
Was it consensual?
I don't care.
Okay.
Aaron, you will know at least that the new head of the SI in Atlanta, as Josiah has died. The new head is a man named Ashton Murdoch Justiniani. He, as you as Kindred have learned, is from the Vatican. He is what is called an Emerald Sicarius. The Sicarius are essentially SI Vatican Special Forces, and he is a member of the Society of Leopold.
It's just Kindred have all kinds of different flavors. Humans do too. Everyone's got to be special.
And Jenny has ripped his head off.
Did you keep any trophies?
No, I had to go release goats after that.
Perfectly sensual. Yeah.
So it's everyone talks as if they had a life before this. Is that normal?
Let me take a step back. Who named you Jenny?
I saw it in a magazine.
And how long ago was that?
I don't know. I just woke up here.
There's a life before that does come. Kindred tend to frown upon making young people us, and once we become us, we don't age. So you being you means that there was someone before. But there are kindred in the city that could help dig if you'd be willing to try.
I mean, do you know how you became who you are? Because he became who he was in like this little, it was a room, there was like 3 of them, and then we heard a lot of stuff. We think he had a good time, but I don't know if that applies to everybody.
No, Gangrel tend to be more violent, turned sire to sire, it depends.
I don't remember being turned.
What do you remember?
I woke up in Piedmont Park.
How much blood was there?
There wasn't any.
None? Like just a little bit? Like under your armpit? Okay.
All I remember was waking up and being thrown out of a car, and it was in Piedmont Park.
Okay.
And I just had to figure it out from there.
Do you think you should listen for bugs?
I'm sorry that you didn't have anyone to help introduce you.
So, people actually had a life before this. Like, I know I had to have had a mom, dad, all of that before. I just don't know who, where, what they are.
If you'd like, I could use some resources to help dig. See if there's people still looking for you. Or if anything, people that you used to know that hate you that might still be looking for you.
The only thing that I recall was having a card, and the card had a paw print on it. That was it.
Do you still have the card?
No.
Okay.
I didn't think I would need to keep it.
You've given me quite a mystery. I love it.
And so, Esme, for you, all calls to your sire are still not going through. This was supposed to be just a little trip to say hello to some old friends, but the ever-fashionable and proper Lorianne Stokes has never not answered you, and least of all for a week. The only lead you have to go on is that she has a longtime old friend, Denise, who is the head of the gangrel. And you remember whereabouts she lived up near Lake Lanier.
It's been a while since I've been here. I'm in the back of my car, my very nice vintage car, and Claire is driving, of course. I don't drive. And I think it's about now that we pull up.
All right, let me roll to see how Claire was driving this whole time. Fine. That's a 4 critical. She got you there very promptly. Got through the traffic, remembered to use the HOV lane.
Love it.
And so you pull up to that same large log cabin style, deep cherry wood walls and green roof. Surrounding it, a myriad of tiny homes, each big enough for one person, decorated. And you can see a light on at the top where you know Denise's office to be. You can see a few shadows in there.
Forgot how small gangrel live. I'll go up and I'll knock on the door.
On the front door of the house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you knock on the front door and the door gets flung open by a very large, muscly, attractive man. He goes, wait, we already had one lost child, or are you another? I'm sorry, we don't have anything ready for you.
No, I'm quite claimed, quite adult.
Okay.
I was wondering, I'm here to see Denise.
Oh, Denise! And he just screams for her from the front door.
Well, you tell her Lorianne's daughter's here.
Lorianne's daughter is here? I'm gonna go get her. And you see him run up the stairs, and you see an identical twin of him on the other side of the room.
Of course.
And
they're twins.
For the rest of y'all, he bangs on the door and goes, "Hey, I know it's official stuff, but Denise, Lorianne's daughter is here." And y'all see Denise just perk up, like, happily. She goes, "Holy shit." And she goes, meeting adjourned. And she goes and opens the door and comes downstairs, and the second she lays eyes on you, just runs downstairs, throws her arms around you.
I'll hug her back.
Oh my gosh, Esme, it's so good to see you.
It's been a while. It's, you're gone for a few decades and they changed the whole place.
That is Atlanta. Never stops working on herself.
Don't remember traffic being that bad.
Yeah, it really gets worse by the day. Esme, this is Jenni. She's a new young one that we're taking care of.
Right.
This is Jackson. A friend. This is Miss Lest Embrace, our keeper of Elysium, and Mr. Ulrich, our seneschal.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm Esme Leroux. I was here a while ago, but I've been in New Orleans for a while, just traveling.
She's the childer of a dear friend of mine, Lorianne.
Which is why I came here. Have you heard from Lorianne?
No, she kind of does her own thing.
Right, but her own thing has never been ignoring me.
No, she dotes on you like every mother hen.
Right, she hasn't answered my call in a week, and I'm worried that something might have happened.
Yeah, I can go over to her house to check it out. Were you just in town to visit her? Word travels so slow, which is very weird for this age of technology that we have, which is strange. I've never been one for technology.
But
That's usually what makes word travel slow.
right, well, working at a little witch shop in New Orleans will cut you off entirely.
I still need to come down and visit you.
Oh, yes, you do. It's beautiful. Right, so back on track. I heard that a friend of mine had been named Prince, and I wanted to come see him, but
Him.
right, you remember Talbot, don't you? It's been a while since I've seen him.
Yes.
Mel shoots a look at Aaron and then at Jackson.
And so,
Am I missing something?
I thought our prince was a she.
our
Word travels very slow.
Very slow.
our prince is a she. Our prince is Alima Sagar.
Right, which means that Talbot.
You know, Seneschal, why don't you explain what happened to Talbot?
Gladly.
And Denise is giving you the worst shit-eating grin.
In my head, I'm thinking, I've never seen Denise smile before. I hope she's happy. And now I feel completely gutted. Talbot had issues in his last years to where he wasn't himself.
Talbot wasn't the kind to have issues. What happened?
We think there was some kind of blood bonding, which interfered with his ability to think properly.
And I take it my friend was treated with respect.
Esme, I feel, much as I enjoy making Aaron uncomfortable like this, it is worth noting Talbot at one point kidnapped and imprisoned most of us.
Right, so he wasn't himself.
No, very much not.
Shit.
And
Well, this day couldn't get any better.
it's about to get a little bit worse. Aaron, why don't you continue?
Gladly. Talbot was stopped. The Primogen were rescued, and Talbot was removed.
Esme kind of gets this look to her where it's like those old Southern ladies who are trying really hard to keep the smile on their faces despite the murder in her eyes. Right. I'm gonna focus on the problem at hand here, which is that it appears that after hearing that my dear friend was executed, my sire is missing, which is a different problem.
Yeah, Talbot was executed a couple of years ago.
Shit.
Before my time.
There was an interim prince. He wasn't too
What?
bad.
Why didn't Lorian tell me?
I don't know. I haven't seen Lorianne in probably about 4 or 5 years.
Okay, that's
I've never even heard the name before. It's someone who lives here.
she's
Yeah, she comes and goes.
yeah, she does her own thing. She's old, but she gets mistaken for a different clan than she actually is, so she gets to move a little bit freely under the guise of, well, I'll say under the guise of a toreador.
Yeah, she kind of is a free spirit, so to speak. She just comes around every now and then. Usually I just hear tell of a beautiful woman in a vintage Rolls Royce, and I go, Lorianne's in town.
Wouldn't know the type.
Right, but she never doesn't answer my calls. I was, I'm not going to say her first child, but I was one of them. And I'd rather say I'm lucky to have a rather good relationship with my sire, and she is kind of like a mother to me, and it's not like her to not answer me.
You said a vintage Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
Cherry red.
I just pull out a phone and start doing something. I'm gonna make a wits and technology roll.
Okay.
She's not hard to miss. She looks like she stepped out of a 50s movie.
Would this have been somebody that either Aaron or Mel would have ever witnessed in their time in Atlanta?
You probably would have seen a cherry red old Rolls Royce at some point, probably at car shows,
Sure.
or you would have seen her around the High Museum.
We don't know of her personally.
Yeah.
We probably don't remember the last time we would have seen her.
She is technically independent, though is in good standing with the Camarilla.
Yeah, I was gonna start getting out the Constitution, looking at it again, but thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah, she's considered one of those where she is old enough that people allow her to not be affiliated.
I see.
5 success. I'm just gonna access like I'm just looking right now. Vintage car forums, Reddit, since also a less vintage car owner.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff I'd be familiar with, just to see if people have been talking about a vintage Rolls Royce in Atlanta.
Not really.
Or if there's
You
one for
can
sale.
not for sale. You can find pictures from local car shows, and there is a red vintage Rolls Royce at the vintage car shows, but mainly the like 50s and 60s cars.
Yeah.
But those pictures are all from during the daytime, so likely she is parking her car with the show at night and not being around during the day.
More looking to see if it had been found
Yeah.
or stolen or
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
Was your sire concerned anyone was attacking her, chasing her?
I haven't gotten texts from her in a while, and I mean, it's strange with Lorianne, since she moves around so much, no news is kind of good news, and I've been busy with I'm not gonna say that I run the Tremere in New Orleans, but I have a part to play there. I came there mostly as a dignitary and kind of stayed for a few decades. But I've been busy with them, and I've been busy with...
Oh, you'll have to see the chantry we've got here. It's actually kind of cute now.
It seems like Atlanta's not the only thing that's changed. You'll have to catch me up. It's been a while since I've been in Atlanta.
Yeah, the our primogen for the Tremere Proctor, she got a little house set up in EAV for a chantry.
Who's the primogen for Tremere?
Elizabeth Proctor.
Been a while since I heard that name.
Yeah, she decided to nut up, as they say, and take some responsibility for a change.
Good for her. Never would have given it to her. Sorry, that came out really salty.
You've been gone a while. It's understandable. The final nights here were extremely unkind. That's where this young one comes in. We have an entire, shall we say, finishing school for
Right, I
orphans.
did hear about that one.
Yeah. We have a school for those orphaned because, well, to be honest, Atlanta was pretty much no longer a vampire city by the end of the final night, so...
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, those of us that are primogen didn't exactly want it, but when you're some of the only ones left that can rebuild...
Have greatness thrust upon you.
In a manner of speaking. Proctor, to be honest, she absolutely fucking hates it, but she was one of the only ones left.
I never saw Proctor as a person of power, or at least
No.
a person of organization and control. And again, this is coming out very salty. I'm gonna stop talking.
I have a question.
She's dating a Malkavian now.
You were saying that she puts on the front of a certain clan, but isn't that clan?
Right. Well, she's a Tremere, obviously, like me.
Sure.
But the way that she dresses and the way that she dotes on the way that she looks, people kind of take her for a Toreador a lot.
Nobody really believes that a Tremere would be a perfect pinup model.
Yeah. You know the thing that Toreador do, where if they're not perfect at all times, it seems like they're actually dying inside?
Mm-hmm.
She does that.
Yeah, she's actually...
Despite the fact that it's not actually hurting her, she's just...
It's more emotional.
Yeah.
Sure.
Shall we say she takes great pride in her appearance?
Yeah, I thought Lorianne was a Toreador for easily 10 years.
Everyone thought that. No one believed that I was her child.
Mel goes really clinical and she looks right at Aaron and says this out loud, not at all mincing words. Is it possible that she got picked up by the SI?
By the who?
There are other players aside from Kindred in Atlanta as well. While Kindred were rebuilding, other factions also took a foothold. There's a kind agitation that is organized enough to be a pain. And they've recently started playing around with experimentation.
How long ago has it been since you heard from her?
About 3 weeks.
Yep. Nope.
You think youth pastor may have something to do with this?
It would have to be him, which means we have no insight into. If it had been a while, Josiah might know something, but
can he access any existing cameras or?
I am more likely able to do that than he is.
Well, can we try that? Maybe see if we can get a manifold that might show any recent prisoners or something like that.
You could check with Dot, see what
Pull the phone back
cameras-
out.
I'm sorry to bring it up as a possibility because, of course, we would like for her to just be.
I think
Traveling.
after the news of Talbot, I'm kind of if you'll excuse the turn of phrase, I'm kind of embraced for the worst.
Would you like to sit down? And Mel stands up and
Right,
offers her
thank
spot.
you.
Yes.
Would you like a
Yes.
cookie?
Oh, I would suggest not.
Don't.
You do see the twins
made those?
bringing in some armchairs for you guys to sit down, just hoisting one
Was
armchair.
this a
and
chair or a
some-
dinner? I'm kidding.
This one's actually an armchair. But yeah, they're just bringing in like wingbacks and just setting them down for everyone.
No, Mel will take one.
And yeah, I will text a Nosferatu.
Okay.
Probably Hex more than Dot, and just give some basic info and
Okay.
what we're looking for.
Okay, you get back thumbs up emoji.
This is terrible. Szechuan,
Hmm.
there has to be something we can do to help her. I know that if I knew my sire, I would
She's really
want
new.
to help them.
We will be as thorough as we can with finding them.
And if
Camarilla
I
or
can
not.
help in any way, please let me know. I have quite a few years of experience under my belt.
Storyteller, are we able to offer her a place to stay while she's
Yeah.
here? Would it
You're
be with
keeper
us?
of Elysium and Seneschal. You can offer her
Sure.
anywhere.
I will say, it's a bit of a drive here, but I am originally from Savannah. If my family home is still there, I could stay there while I'm in town. Is a out of the way. Savannah's a bit far, but
We would prefer, at least I would assume we prefer for you to be closer in the off chance that the worst happens.
fair enough.
And also, we can at least offer some protection if there is something we don't know about what's happening.
I'm gonna pry a little bit. What's the address of where your sire lives here when she's here?
Up to you if you want to give it to him.
It
May I
will
ask why?
Because I can access traffic cams and find out when the last time she was there was, and possibly even track movement. I'm a tracker.
Are
That's
you
what
sure
I do.
you're not Nosferatu?
Yeah, you're not.
Ouch.
I'm kidding. I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
It was more the. It was more the.
Ooh.
The.
I'm a tracker.
It's more the personality than.
I'm a tracker. That's what I do.
I wouldn't have thought you were Nosferatu. I'm just gonna say that.
I
don't-
seriously, it was the whole insight kind of thing, as opposed to the.
Jenny, are you or your congregation also good with tracking? Okay. Would you like to assist us in this adventure?
I'd love to.
Have you picked out a model home though?
This one.
They too take a while to get together. Okay.
And Denise goes, oh, okay. I'm gonna go make a call and get this all organized for you. You guys do whatever you like, and if you need a place to stay and they don't organize anything for you, you can just come back here.
One more thing.
Yeah.
For reasons that I'm sure you understand, I would like it if certain people did not realize that I was in town until I could tell them myself.
Understandable.
We ended on some rather bad terms, and
Yeah, mom's the word.
thank you, Denise.
I'm gonna go handle this. You guys do your regular Scooby-Doo thing. And she scuttles off upstairs to make some calls for Jenny's home.
Right. Her address, and Esme will point out a very large, like, nice lake home on the side of Lake Lanier. And it's one of those that, like, you pass and you're like, that's way too nice to be here. And she goes, it's been her home for a while. She keeps, I'd say, a family there. It's how she feeds.
Okay.
Some of them she's embraced, others that she hasn't, but she likes to call them her little family. That's why I call her my mother, despite her not actually being my mother.
Right.
Storyteller proximity to us right now. That's close to where we are right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
This home that she's pointing out?
Yeah, it's probably about, I'd say, since Denise lives on the southern tip of Lake
Yeah.
Lanier, this is more on that northwestern side.
So,
So
15
kind of,
miles-ish or so?
yeah, like
drive?
Gainesville area.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Okay. Well,
We could always just go there.
yeah, that
I do have a car and a driver.
might be easy.
And then Mel, like, gestures widely to the, like, 4 other vehicles also in the driveway.
And Esme will look out, and there's a very nice, like, black vintage car. She does not know what type it is. She's never bothered to learn. And sitting by the side of the car, just kind of texting on her phone, is a woman with short red hair, and she's wearing a leather jacket, and she just looks totally unfazed by the whole gangrel running amok, and she's kind of almost turns her nose up a little bit at them.
She would turn her nose up even more as another car has pulled up. That y'all know to be Mooney's car.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, great.
Mooney just gets out, and you see a woman in very neon color palette with teased out hair, and you would be unfamiliar with the symbol, but she has what looks like a weird bunch of scratch line black tattooed across her face. And she gets out of the car with three other individuals, one who looks like a crust punk kid, one with short red hair and she's very small, and then a tall muscular woman with tattoos down the exclusively right side of her entire body. And they get out, and she's just walking up to the house. Hey Jackson, hey Mel, hey Aaron,
Speaking
hey
of Scooby Gang.
kid.
Hey, this is just a regular reunion, isn't it?
And she comes in, and she goes over to the kitchen, and then you hear her yell back to the twins, hey, where are those dog biscuits I asked for? And they rush to the kitchen to assist Mooney.
Storyteller. Esme's pretty good at figuring out who's what.
They are werewolves.
Yeah. Immediate frown.
Yeah, and they seem very comfortable and friendly here. This wasn't like a aggressive visit. There is no aggression here. It's
There are
like they're friends.
werewolves here now?
Yes, we have a very peaceful truce at the moment.
Right. Never in my life, or lack thereof, have I thought that would happen.
Well, and then Mel brings out her phone, which conveniently has the Constitution still up on it, and like scrolls through and said, "There's probably a lot here that you wouldn't have expected, but we are operating this Camarilla with democracy and equality in mind."
Who is the prince, by the way?
Olima.
And then Mel just pulls out, like, it's not like a Facebook, but it's like, you know, like where we have she had created just out of her own personal necessity a org chart of everybody and like what their roles are, and then she kind of like pushed it off to like what each thing does, and then under each one it has explained like what their, you know, benefits, pros and cons sort of list, and so she's like, that's
feel like
and then
Esme like comes over
hands
and
her
like,
phone, and then there you go.
And
that's
so
me.
on this chart you see a absolutely stunningly beautiful Desi woman with, you know, dupatta on her hair. It's nice and like tied up in a bun, big jewels, clearly Toreador. And you see a Lima cigar, Prince. You see that the sheriff is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed young man who is a thin blood named Elijah. And you see Elizabeth Proctor as the Tremere Primogen. You see a gentleman with dark hair and a beard and glasses. That is Anton Krivopuskov, the regent of the Chantry. And you see Primogen of clans you wouldn't expect in the Camarilla, like Gangrel, Falcon the Bruja Primogen, Alejandro the La Sombra Primogen.
there has been a lot of changes.
Yeah,
Last time I was here, it was pretty much only Toreador, Ventru, and us.
well, it became incumbent upon us as leaders to bring everybody into the fold and protect everybody.
And Mel, does your org chart include the werewolves and the changelings and the mages?
That would have been a separate tab where it would have been like, you know, each tab would have been for each of the different races, so to speak. So it would have more of that, you know, so it would be another tab. So
Are you perhaps a Virgo?
I don't remember when Mel was born. I don't remember, honestly.
She is a Bruja.
It was many, many years ago.
Phenomenal.
But if you do click the other tabs, you will see prime contact for the mages is named Talia Graves. She is a death mage. Probably something a New Orleans witch would get along with.
The Fae would be on there too, I would think,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, so you also see the Duke of the Changelings is an individual only known as the CEO. He is an older Chinese man. And you would see the head of the Garu is the woman that you just saw, Gracious Moon.
Sorry, it's a lot of information to take on all at once.
That's all right. And Mel will just take her phone and say,
Actually, my ghoul downstairs has a cell phone. If I give you her number, will you send that to her?
unfortunately, I cannot. Can only be on the leadership phones. I can present the information to you, but I can't share it, so to speak.
Right, understand.
But if you have questions, feel free to ask. We are a equitable and democratic city.
How convenient.
And Mel, as Keeper of Elysium, will you also inform her of what is Elysium?
Sure. And while you are staying here, myself and our Seneschal will find you a suitable and comfortable place that is also safe. But should you need to seek Elysium, every Waffle House is an Elysium.
I don't think I've been here since those were built.
Well, there's one every 2 blocks, so you can't miss them.
It's like a church.
That's very fair. There's a lot of those in New Orleans. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate all the hospitality. It's nice to see that at least that hasn't changed.
And so as a text message comes through on all of your phones, that's where we're going to take our break. We're going to get some water and stretch our legs. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. welcome back. And so, as you all have gotten a text message, this message is from Dot. Via DOS, it's a forwarded message. DOS has a couple surveillance images of a red cherry Rolls Royce in the airport parking lot.
Long-term parking or short-term parking?
Long-term parking.
Oh, shit.
Is there a date on the photos?
It is current. It is right now.
Well.
And there is a boot on the car.
Oof. Those poor rents.
Easy. They're easy to get off.
Spoken like a true Brujah.
Well. And I'll show you the photo.
That's her car.
So-
Shit, she's gonna be pissed that it got booted.
Do we go to her house or her car?
House.
You guys are closer to her house.
House is
at the moment.
closer.
I say we
Is this
one
like...
step in the next. Mel is like taking over the Scoobying, so it's go time.
All right, Fred, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say house because we're closer and...
I do have keys to the place.
All right.
She would have told you if she was leaving the country.
Well, I would hope she would have told me if anything had happened, but again, I haven't heard from her in about 3 weeks, so...
Which is probably about how long the car's been at the airport.
And, I mean, this woman texted me about the new dress that she got.
Yeah,
Okay.
long-term parking is also a really easy way to get rid of a vehicle.
That
I'm
was my
not
thought.
trying to cast a...
That was my thought.
No,
Yeah,
like I
exactly.
said, after the whole news of friend being beheaded, it's, expected.
Yeah, all right.
Who's driving?
I mean,
I'm going in my car. I don't know
Obvious.
about you.
obviously.
You can only fit like a possum. It's a small car.
I can fit 4 people comfortably.
Would Mark have been with Mel for this?
Yes.
Okay,
Mark drove you here.
okay. In the Escalade?
Mhm. Yep.
And then Mel will like point out there and be like, there's plenty of room in my vehicle as well. You don't need to come because you've got your
Mark
own,
seeing you two is like,
I literally...
clearly. Mel just kind of rolls her eyes.
You feed him blood and Red Bull?
He feeds himself the Red Bull. Trust me, I don't need help.
Wait a minute. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll come back to that later.
Okay.
Mel, can I go with you?
Yes, please, please. And Mel will kind of make her way downstairs and out to the front of the car.
Yeah. I'm going to drive my car in case I want to go somewhere else, but
And Mel's just gonna holler at everybody, that's fine, we'll just destroy the atmosphere while we're at it.
yeah, that.
I heard splitting the party is always a wonderful idea.
Yeah, well, it's not the first time.
And when I got here, I would have let Robin out because this is a safe place for him to roam around in the woods. So
Mhm.
I just whistle once we get outside.
and you all see a adolescent-sized possum now come running up to Jackson. He's not quite the tiny baby possum he used to be. He's now probably about 5 pounds.
Straight up the pant leg, up the jacket, onto the shoulder.
Yep. And he looks
Ready?
at both Mel and Aaron just,
Mm-hmm. Mel kind of like gives him a little snoot boop.
Right,
Ready?
Claire, we're going to Lorian's.
yes, ma'am.
We'll follow you. And Mel gets in the front seat.
Good to go.
And
And Jenny, who are you riding with?
With wherever Robin's going.
yeah, trust me, this is the car you want to be in. I'm telling you.
Not
Robin,
with Jackson, but with the possum. Got it.
Robin does crawl back into your lap and snuggles in. And he can smell raccoons on you and he just... And so you all take off, speeding towards the house. And when you pull up, you see a gorgeous, stunning manor. Way too stunning. Clearly new construction kind of mansion. This is not original to Lake Lanier. You know, the people who buy the cheap land and overdevelop. But it is stunning beyond measure. And you can see out on the lake is a boat this time of night with 2 individuals in it, a larger man pale skin, but a black suit and black suit coat, and he is holding hands in the boat with a Desi man, or Swana man with long black hair, and they seem to just be having a lovely evening on the lake together.
So we're out of our vehicles at this point,
Mhm.
right? Storyteller. Okay.
You see Jackson staring at them for a minute. Okay. Anyway.
So Lorianne usually lives with a bit of a Carver family. Is anybody else home?
The house is seemingly completely empty. The lights are off. It is completely silent.
So no siblings. Got it.
Well, that makes it easier for us to investigate rather than barging into a stranger's house.
Still gonna be
It's
barging
not
in.
a stranger's house. I used to live here as
Do you
well.
have a key?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes things much easier. As Jackson puts a small thing that obviously has lockpicks in it back in his jacket pocket.
Right.
And Noel's just gonna just bust a window, but here we are.
I'd prefer it if we didn't do property damage on a very, very powerful Tremere, but you know,
Sure.
to each his own. I open the door.
So you open the door and the house is uncomfortably quiet. You can tell that the AC has been off for quite some time. It's a little musty in here. It looks like no one has been here for a while,
Storyteller.
at least in this foyer.
Is there a security system?
Not that you can see.
I look for one.
Not that you can see.
Okay.
Would you like to investigate around the
Yeah.
foyer for one? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll make that wits and investigation.
Cool.
May I make a similar roll to look for my siblings?
Yes, we'll make yours composure and investigation.
2.
2.
Sorry.
Nope.
3.
3. Also, do you wish to deactivate the security system?
Yes, absolutely.
So you see Esme go over to a very beautiful painting, slide it to the left, and there is a panel behind it that
You
you would
missed
not
it.
have noticed.
Is the best way to make sure that nobody deactivates your security system is to not have a very obvious panel in front of everybody?
I'm very surprised that you don't have any runes?
Wards?
Wards, that's the word.
Like I said, the best way for a security system to work is for not to see it.
Would you point out any trouble spots that we don't want to step on or
Oh.
pass through?
I've taken care of it. So long as you're with me, the runes shouldn't activate.
And with looking for your siblings, where are you choosing to look for them?
I wouldn't say younger ones, but the unembraced are usually out back or downstairs causing mischief. And the older, some of the embraced are usually upstairs, so I'm gonna look for the younger ones first.
Okay, so you guys see Esme head downstairs to look. And Esme, why don't you give me a composure resolve roll now? And Jenny, this is the nicest house you have ever been in. Uncomfortably nice, but it's made a little less nice by the mustiness and the lack of airflow.
3 successes again.
Okay. So when you come downstairs, a stench hits you. Old blood.
Human?
Human. But you can't see it. But it certainly reeks down here of old blood and rot.
Can I use my heightened senses to see if I can smell my way towards the source? Or at least where the most of it was?
You can certainly try. Would you like to kick on heightened senses?
Yes, I would.
I'm going to need a willpower roll from you. As the smell was strong
Remind
enough
me
when
where
you
I
came
find
down
that.
here. Just roll all of your unspent willpower.
Should be at the very bottom.
Yeah, it should be down here.
doesn't appear.
Okay.
There we go.
One success.
You kick on heightened senses, and immediately you feel the urge to vomit as the smell of rotting flesh and blood is overwhelming beyond belief. It is living in your nose at this point. But I will say you can tell which direction it's coming from, but if you choose to move towards it, you will throw up.
I think I back out. Right, somebody else with a stronger stomach. I think I found something, and I can't.
Mel nopes right out of there. She's like, "Nope."
All right, where?
Jenny's gonna stay and use feral whispers.
Mhm.
I want to see if there's any rodents or anything that was attracted to the smell.
Okay. So using feral whispers, are you just calling out?
Mhm.
What are you saying?
If there's anyone there.
You hear a little cacophony of voices go, Who's it? Who's there? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
Friend.
And you can hear scratching.
Can you help me?
Where?
Here,
Wait,
come here.
wait.
Come here.
And the scratching gets a bit louder, and you can see it's coming from a wall.
Okay. I punched the wall.
Make me strength and brawl.
Oh, that whole thing about property damage.
You know what? It's fine. Lorianne has accumulated a bit of wealth in her time.
Clearly.
Yeah, she has a taste for the finer things. Sorry, I'm still getting over that.
Mel does not have any of the heightened senses stuff. That is not a thing that she has gotten over her years, and she is very happy for it right now.
5.
5.
Messy crit.
Okay.
Messy
all right.
critical. Okay.
Okay.
So now I need you to
Rip
make
whatever
me
rodents
a composure and resolve roll, as you are going straight through this wall.
9.
Oh, God.
Failure. So very well.
My metaphobia cannot.
As you punch through this wall to find the rats, you do hear them all scream and scatter. But when your hand goes through, it sinks through something soft and wet and crunchy before you hit something metal, and you can hear an electrical buzz as the power goes out.
Ah, shit.
And you
Well.
pull your hand out, and it is covered in viscera.
Why?
Well, you found something.
Yeah, last
Just-
time I checked, walls don't bleed. Can I see what was in the wall?
Do you wish to look?
Yeah,
Oh,
I do.
All right.
I do.
Why don't you make me...
Yep.
Let's see
Don't.
what we're gonna call this roll. Let's call this roll
Don't lose my shit roll.
composure, and at this point, let's say medicine.
Awesome.
Medicine to know what it is, composure to hold it together.
2 successes.
2 successes. You look into the wall to figure out where that came from. And there's a pain in your chest that you have not felt since you were alive. Or a facsimile of it. As you look in to see the rotting corpse of one of the young ones. And looking further down, you can see that there are more shapes. inside the wall.
Now Esme punches the wall.
Okay, I guess
Are
we're
you-
just going for the property
It's just
damage.
just out of anger. I'm not
Okay.
trying to do any damage.
What's in there?
Bodies.
Yeah, but what kind of bodies?
The child kind.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna step in now that this is a crime scene.
Yeah.
And start feral weapons start peeling out an outline enough for us to move out some of the bodies.
And you move them out, and they are the younger ones, but still adult, I will say. The bodies appear as you are a forensics detective. Let me actually, for you, let's make this, I believe we'll call it wits and medicine.
Okay.
That feels like a forensic detective role.
3 successes.
3 successes. So you pull them out. They're about 19 years of age, dead about 1 month. As for cause of death, should you choose, you do not see any physical causes of death. All that would remain is if you were to check the stomach contents.
Mel is gonna swoop in and embrace Esme to keep her standing and steady, and
She'll have
that's
take it.
literally all that Mel can do right now. Mel's zero help in this, so
They were not kindred. They were not a threat.
Esme, if you want to take a step outside for a second, I can find out more.
I would like to find the rest of my siblings. Will you come with me upstairs?
I will. And Mel will like either grab her arm or shoulders or whatever her preference is for keeping her on her feet and help her upstairs.
Start digging.
And Jenny's going to continue to assist with getting the bodies out of the wall.
Okay. And so with Jenny's assistance, you are able to remove 4
Gotcha.
bodies, all late teens, early 20s, all human in nature, no physical signs of cause of death. Checking the stomach contents, you see a black, murky fluid that is familiar to you, Aaron, as it does appear very similar to what was injected into you.
Does Jenny see the fluid?
Yes, you would see it as well. It feels like the deepest, thickest ink.
Schnitzel, what do you think happened?
This looks like some kind of, I don't know what this looks like. I do know what this looks like. Let me be more clear. This is confusing, is what it is. I think the best thing to do is to share as factually as possible with Esme. See if there's any kind of connections. Check around to see SI-wise if there's any connection there as well.
Storyteller. I'm lingering around them, but I'm looking around on the first floor. Is there any sign of forced entry anywhere in the house, or
No.
Okay.
Mel is gonna have sat you down at some seating area on a landing and just like knelt in front of you and like said, let's just take a second. You've had a lot today, and I think for this second, just take it in and try to
Quite.
process.
I quite appreciate your support, being as that we just met, but I'm never gonna ask a lady her age, but in the time period where I grew up, you don't sit around and mope. There were lots of things to do. Quite frankly, there was a war going on, so you get up and you do things.
And Mel will get out of her way and like, and not impolitely, just be like, Mel knows exactly the type, so she literally gestures and follows her through.
And you can tell in her countenance there is a relation of age between you and Mel.
So, out of curiosity, You are the oldest one in this group, aren't you?
I am.
Feels shitty, doesn't it, sometimes?
Especially when you find out you didn't have to be this old.
Well, there are upsides to it.
I was able to do a lot of good things, but I did them because I was called to do them, and I just wonder how I could have spent that time not being called in service of other people.
It's quite strange to see somebody of your clan doing things for other people. It's quite strange to see somebody of your clan, if you don't mind my saying so, but part of the Camarilla. When I grew up here, or at least when I was a bit of a child myself, it was structured, especially the Tremere. I mean, it's strange how much things have changed. And it's going to take some getting used to. And certainly I foresee bigger changes happening soon. But don't you miss just the freedom of doing what you want? It's got to be kind of painful for somebody like you to be in charge of all these rules.
I was never free.
Don't you want to be?
I think the illusion of freedom. I think freedom is an illusion.
It's an illusion if you listen to other people above you. You can make it not be an illusion.
I don't happen to listen to anybody above me. I make my own decisions. And I appreciate the acquiescence of those around me who might consider themselves to be above me.
And that, Mel, is why I respect you.
And it's about this time as you guys are talking, you catch a perfume scent from upstairs.
Familiar perfume?
Mm-hmm. Not that kind of familiar, but familiar.
That does not smell like death.
No. Does it smell like Lorian's or
No.
somebody else?
Somebody else.
Do I recognize the smell?
It smells like one of your siblings.
Right, I'm gonna go up there, and it doesn't smell like viscera, so I'm gonna hold on to that piece of hope.
And Mel's gonna follow.
And so all of the bedroom doors are shut. Would you like to enter one?
Absolutely. And I still have my heightened senses on, so if that smell gets stronger, I'll...
Okay, are you wanting to enter the one with the strongest perfume smell,
Yes,
or
please.
just the first one?
No,
Okay.
I don't want to see any more sadness. Hopefully.
Unfortunately,
God.
as you open the door, you see your sibling sitting at their dressing table, unmoving, but their skin is quite gray. And with your heightened senses, you can see that they are leaned back against their chair in reclining, but they have not quite touched the back of the chair. They're about 2 to 3 inches up from the chair.
There's no fan on in this room?
No.
Right.
But are you choosing to walk closer?
Oh, God.
No, because I feel like if I get closer, they're going to fall apart.
Their form actually seems quite stable. They only seem to be gray.
Yeah, I'll go closer.
As you do come closer, you can see a bit more, since you are walking up behind them, that they are reclined back, but their back has not touched the back of the chair. And as you see in the dressing table mirror, a stake sticking out from their chest. But there is no harm that has been done to them, save for the stake.
Shit.
What in the hell happened here? And Mel's gonna call down and call down to, hey, Aaron, you might want to come up here.
I shake off some what feels like venom from Spider-Man. Just don't want to touch that again.
It is very symbiote in consistency.
I head upstairs.
I'll follow.
And Jenny,
I try to gesture to see if I can get one of the rats or the mice.
the rats
to...
did come out as their source of food. was removed from the wall, you see about 6 or 7 of them come crawling out, and they stop and look up at you like, You talk? You talk?
Mm-hmm. You listen? You can hear me?
Yes.
Did you see who put these bodies here?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did you hear a name?
No.
Can you tell me what they look like?
Big.
Big. What else?
Blue. Lots of blue.
Blue.
Maybe blue. Purple.
Blue?
Purple. Blue.
Blue? Purple?
Green. No. Blue.
Man? Woman?
What man? What woman?
What else can you tell me?
Give the rats an anatomy lesson.
Oh my god, no.
Loud shoes. Loud. Boom.
Loud shoes.
Loud shoes.
Loud shoes.
Boom. On the floor.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell me?
House go dark. Very dark. House go dark. And lots sound. Smell bad. And wall close. And dinner.
Thank you.
You meet babies?
Babies?
And they look back and you see just a swarm of tiny little rat babies come out, and they kind of gather around their mom. Babies.
I'll hold my arm down to see if they'll crawl on me.
They do.
Okay.
They crawl up, and you can just hear they don't have the ability to speak yet. They are still so very small, but you do get just a cacophony of.
Let's see if we can find you guys some fresh food. And I just follow with a gang of babies all around me.
And their mama does hop onto your hand as well to travel with her children.
Oh, gangrel.
And so are you all going upstairs?
Yeah, I followed Aaron.
Before we get to the room, I'm going to glance at the mice and see if they will accept one of the twins' cookies.
And the mama takes it because it is rather big, but they all do start kind of nibbling all around it.
So they are
and
edible.
You can see them.
Maybe not.
They're still eating it, but occasionally just.
They all just reminder that they also ate dead bodies, so their taste isn't like
It's not like a ratatouille kind of palate.
No.
Okay.
And so when you guys come upstairs, you do see a staked kindred body.
Can we turn the chair around without it damaging?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will have had the chair turned around.
You can tell that they, from also when you have witnessed Aaron be staked, they have not been staked for very long, just long enough to clearly lose that blood supply. As if you were to take out the stake, you can tell that they would be very hungry.
Is
Marcus here, right?
But they have not desiccated just yet.
Is the stake what's keeping them from leaning all the way back?
As once you lean around, you can see the stake is far enough through that it's a 2 to 3 inches out the back.
Why would you kill a bunch of mortals and then only stake the kindred in the house?
And if you check the other bedrooms, you will see the same.
She's gonna look at
Not the
Aaron
only kindred.
and say hunters.
Hunters aren't as
Hunters wouldn't.
kind, gracious,
They
appreciative.
wouldn't have left them.
Hunters wouldn't have killed the humans.
It's
Also
Well,
Or at least-
maybe SI
Not the
because,
children.
and I'll describe like the injections and the black blood essentially.
why would they have left them? They would have taken them. Why would they have put them in the walls and then closed the walls back up? It's only been. Well, we don't know how long it's been.
Aaron, you would know that the bodies have been. They show that they have likely died 4 weeks ago. But Lorianne has not been answering texts for 3 weeks.
But in the walls.
Did Claire follow us in?
Claire stayed outside.
Right. Stay here, and I'm gonna go get her.
Okay, and Claire just, yes, ma'am.
You mind helping?
Whatever you need, ma'am.
Listen, you were one of our siblings at some point before
Yes.
you started following me.
Is something wrong?
Yeah, I need your help.
Okay.
And I will lead her back up to my sibling who's state. And I go, I want to know what they saw, but they're going to be
Very
really hungry when they wake up. I will
Okay.
not let them kill you, but I'm afraid I don't have a supply.
Understandable. I woke up rather spry tonight, so I think we should be fine.
You know what? And after this, you get the rest of the night off.
That would be nice.
Would Claire and Mark have had an opportunity to meet outside?
Yes.
Okay.
Mark was very much talking her ear off about Georgia Tech football.
Okay. Good.
And she's just anything to get away from that very hyper man.
Right.
Lots of.
He's nice.
Great personality. And so I'll take Claire's wrist, and y'all can see that she's got a few bite mark scars over.
Yeah.
She'll put her arm in front of my sibling, and I'll wrench the stake out.
I'm gonna help hold the body still.
Yeah,
And so-
I would greatly appreciate it if you would help my sibling not kill my ghoul
Got it.
All right.
without causing them any more bodily harm.
Oh.
And so who all is placing hands on this sibling? Aaron?
I'm not gonna put hands. I'm just gonna be on. You should put the hands on. I'll just be on backup, ready to
Back
do
up?
the thing.
My
I
hands are
am-
on Claire.
Okay.
Less useful in that area than I used to be. I just step back. And
Okay. Well,
watch.
Mel is gonna be like, fine, and you know,
Okay.
lay hands.
And Jenny, what are you doing?
We have not removed the stake.
No.
Okay.
Everyone is
So-
prepping
Preparation.
for
I have my
removing the stake.
hand on it.
Jenny's gonna ask us, look, before you do that, I don't know what you're capable of doing, but before we get this one riled up, I've seen with some people that they have the ability to see things just by touching something. Is that something you can possibly do? Because this one may have seen something.
Well, that's kind of why I wanted to wake them up. I'm afraid I don't know well,
Because I'm pretty sure that this one here won't try to attack you if you try to
I
see
need-
through its
As
eyes.
she is gesturing to the
I
right.
need blood in order to see what someone has seen. And
I get another rat.
I prefer not to do it with a rat. I was going to do it on my sibling. Which sibling is in front of me? Or do you want me to make up a name?
This is your sibling, Thomas.
Okay. Tom has no more blood in them, and so I can't see what they've seen.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I'm trying to wake them up, so we can just ask.
Okay. 'Cause I've never seen this before, so I'm
No,
just-
you're quite correct.
yeah.
I can do a bit of blood sorcery, but again, I need a good amount of blood to do it from who I'm taking it from.
Mel's gonna look at Jenny and go, let's just call this learning on the job, and then hold down the.
And Jenny, you would at least be familiar with the things that she's describing are very similar to what Miriam has been studying. As Miriam is also a Tremere, you're kind of piecing. Tremere do things a little bit differently than like Amari, who is a
Okay.
Hekata, so his blood sorcery is different.
Oh. Y'all may want to scatter.
And then
And please don't eat my siblings. And I'll take the steak out.
okay. And so Aaron and Jackson, you're holding on?
Nope, me and
Melon.
Melina.
And you're holding as well? Okay, so then I will subtract 3 die.
I don't have I don't know what my numbers are. Just FYI.
That's okay. But as you guys are helping to hold him, I'm subtracting 3 die from his roll.
Ooh, so
Two.
much blood dice.
To see how he wakes up. Okay, math. That is 7 successes critical. And so as he wakes up, I will also let you that are holding, you may combine, and one person can make a strength and brawl roll to hold him back. You guys that are helping may add 2 dice to the main person rolling each. So there will be an additional 4 die for whoever chooses to make the roll. You're going to have to beat a 7.
I'm at 8 before I add anything.
Yeah, I don't.
Mel has 5 in potence, though.
Yes.
I do.
So
Yeah,
that's
so-
an extra 5 dice you would get to add to this roll.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you would get 4 on top of that. So you have an additional 9 dice to your already, I believe it was 6.
Are you giving me all the dice to roll right now? Okay.
Yeah.
Grab some of
In
those.
true
How many of these dice?
Tremere fashion, Esme has a 1 strength.
That should be 11.
So, Jenny, you assisting is going to give Mel
you'll
more
need
dice, so you
4
don't
more.
have to roll.
Oh, okay.
Good. Oh, so I'm gonna be the one rolling then.
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll be rolling
15
15 dice with 1 hunger die.
I feel like Zach.
That
12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and then
1 hunger die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's
Alright,
gonna be
you're
the
helping me
greatest
calculate what
noise.
these are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's been so long.
The return of the maracas.
I know. I never did maracas like Anton did. Okay, here we go. All right.
Rerolled that one.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely.
Better. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh,
Meets it, beats it.
Hmm.
So, as you yank out the stake, he wakes up with a roar, mouth fully open, lunging forward, and you guys are able to force him back in the chair. It is a struggle, but you are able to hold on to him as he is gnashing at the bit, searching for blood. And as you move Claire's wrist closer,
right.
he manages to latch on.
I will not let him drain her completely. I will not.
Okay.
She will be woozy but conscious.
Okay, so that will allow him to go down 3 hunger, as 4 is when humans start to leave this mortal coil.
Yeah. Don't kill my ghoul, please.
So when we notice that point has been reached, we'll wrench it back.
Mhm.
Yeah, once you see Eseme start pulling Claire back, you guys will be able to force him back into the chair.
And I'm gonna say, just because this is a daily occurrence, Eseme already has bandages out and is dressing Claire's wounds.
And so as he's forced back in the chair, he sits there.
Tom.
Esme.
Hi.
Hi, sugar, how are you?
I've been better. What
Oh.
happened?
Fuck if I know. Mostly, I heard Lorianne call for me downstairs, and whew, I went to go downstairs, and there was just somebody in, it's like hippy dippy garb just got me in the chest. Oh, and he looks at Claire. He's like, "I'm so sorry, sugar.
It's fine.
Who the hell is it? Who
So-
y'all?"
I don't know how long you've been out.
What day is it?
Lorianne's missing.
What?
Tom, Lorianne's missing. The rest of our siblings are staked, and the ones who weren't embraced are dead.
What the fuck? Who got in our house?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Hi, I'm Tom. Nice to meet y'all. Oh, ain't you a pretty thing? Oh,
Tom, not the time.
listen, always the time.
I'm pulling older sibling rules. No.
Oh, fine.
You mentioned hippie garb.
Like some blue. What the hell you call it when you can tell they clearly wove that nasty jacket themselves? Smelled like.
Macrame.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know fancy big words.
Were they? Listen, if there's one thing I know about Lorianne, it's that she taught all of her children to do this. Could you tell that they were kindred?
rightly didn't have the time. I started going down the second I saw him. All I got was general look. I didn't get a chance to focus. Maybe one of the girls saw something, but
I don't think poor Claire has enough blood in her to wake up another one of our siblings today.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time. Well, why don't we just grab some blood bags? That'll help out.
About that.
Oh, what the hell now? Who are you people?
They're friends of Denise.
Oh, Denise is nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are they in my house? Our house.
Remember what I said about Lorianne being missing, the rest of our siblings being staked, and the alive ones being dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Oh, they're helping.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were just having a house party and found me by accident.
You know
And
me
then
better
Mel's
than
gonna
that.
kind of step through and be like, Keeper of Elysium, Seneschal of Atlanta.
Oh. Well, let me put on my good clothes.
No
Tom,
need.
What did you feel as you were going out?
What do you mean?
Was it
Ain't you never been staked before?
was it a poison? Was it the stake? Did you
I
feel
just-
any presence?
I just felt the stake and then started getting real groggy. It went out. Ugh.
Why are you asking? Is there...
Some of the kind antagonists have a anti-kindred presence to them.
Oh, like
Can
the
I-
holy people.
Can I...
It didn't feel like a holy man.
No.
What would make you think that?
Connections with whoever took over the SI.
Whenever you're ready.
Mm.
You mind if I do a ritual? I
Oh,
wanna see what
sure,
you saw.
of course. Yeah. Let me just...
Yeah, take your time.
Ooh. And he gets up out of the chair and goes and just flops back on the bed. For a minute, just... Oh, fuck. That feels good. Whatever you need to do, just do it.
Right. Now, I would like to do blood walk.
Okay.
And I need his.
Mhm.
And I want to see what he saw.
Okay. Fantastic. So, as you do blood walk, you will go back up one hunger
Mhm.
to use his blood. So he is at a 3.
Love it.
But as you all see Esme's eyes cloud over with this shimmering opalescent sheen, one that you've seen Anton take before. Jenny, this is all new to you. Her eyes just went pure gemstone. And as you look, Esme, you see that he's doing his little beard oil routine, and somebody knocks on the door, and he gets up and he goes over and he opens the door, and you see a man, probably about 5'5", short king, in one of those kind of stoner hippie loose weave hoodies.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. And it's multiple shades of like gradient blue. So it's, you know, some look a little more purpley, some look a little more teal, but it's kind of that fading boucle
Mhm.
style. And he's got brown linen pants and thick combat boots that are clearly aged, kind of scuffed up a little bit. And he has a necklace on. And that necklace has a round pendulum with an 8-pointed star with a skull in the middle. And he just goes, "Sorry, dude." And it goes straight into his chest.
I
and the
already
vision.
hate it. You could have led with what he said, and I would already hate this man.
And face-wise, he has a very long, scraggly beard. Like, probably should brush it once in a while. And he's got kind of a crew cut with a long scar going from his right eyebrow to the back of his skull as a brain surgery scar.
I can smell this man from here. Do I recognize the symbol? Being learned both in my live life and my afterlife in magic.
Make me wits and occult.
Oh, and I have, would this count as death magic?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll count it.
Yeah, expertise.
For other reasons, I'll count it.
And gold. Can I borrow this? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
7 successes.
I'm real good at this.
So the symbol and the person is a bit familiar to you, but it takes you a minute to think about it. As it's a symbol you've seen in New Orleans on the door of a crypt of some other magical practitioners, mages, who don't take kindly to you being in their area. It is a set of Thanatos mages that have holed up together in a crypt. But New Orleans is a long way from Atlanta.
Of course they're mages. Of course they're mages. Why wouldn't it be mages? This couldn't have just been easy, could it?
Would you have actually said that
And
out
now
loud?
she has
Yeah.
dropped out.
Okay,
She's-
well, Melo's gonna like
Right, of
whip
course,
out her
of course
phone
they're mages.
immediately and be like looking at her mage information to like see what we need to do about.
Thanatos mages. They're usually in New Orleans.
I see.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you are looking for a symbol, it's an 8-pointed star with a skull in the middle.
Why would they be here?
I don't know, but I mean, Lorianne's a real powerful witch, and the way that she feeds, all of us had some affinity for magic before she embraced us. I mean, I don't know how much history you know about Savannah, Georgia, but my family's old estate is a museum now. We were pretty well known.
And Jenny, these talk of death mages, you recall meeting a woman clad all in black with a starburst scar across her abdomen who brought toe beans back to life after seeing her exit through woods that decayed and died around her.
Aaron, don't you have Talia's number?
Unfortunately. I actually can't delete it, oddly enough.
That tracks. I recall Anton saying that was the kind of magic Talia did.
I am not aware of how much organization there are with
idea.
the mages, but it would not, I was going to say it would not hurt. It would help to reach out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so they were mages. Tom, did Lorianne have any supply of blood bags around here?
We usually just had a handful that we kept in the fridge, but I do a grocery run every Thursday.
Right, and I know it's usually what the younger kids were akin to, but see if you can find anything in here, and if you can, bring everyone back. Bury the ones who didn't make it.
If there's something wrong with the blood, I can just run on down to the shop.
Right,
and-
apparently that there has been a shortage.
Yes.
It is no longer readily available to Kindred in the city.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, that was just about my reaction.
I know that they are not Atlanta natives, or at least what you saw is not an Atlanta native, but mages attacking an Atlanta home like this is not good. And Mel was like looking through the Constitution about what the remedies are for something of this nature.
Right. They may not know about the truce if they're truly Euthanatos mages from New Orleans. Listen, I know how this looks. I didn't piss off any mages that I'm aware of when I was down there.
That you're aware of.
That I'm aware of. I pretty much kept to myself. I aided the prince down there with a few things. I mainly kept towards the Museum of Death. There was a few other, actually another gangrel there that I made friends with, but another story for another time. I didn't much talk to anybody with a heartbeat besides Claire.
Those mages were kind of assholes anyway.
Yeah, they're very much so assholes. And I mean that speaking as somebody who had an affinity for magic while I was still breathing.
They really think they run the shit down there. They don't like vampires none.
Seriously, you learn a few magic spells and you think you're God.
Some of them kind of can be God, and that's why it gets to them. But y'all said y'all got mages here? I ain't never met one.
A handful. Numbers come and go, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, if you have any issues with getting enough resources for your siblings, let me know and we can relocate them somewhere safe.
Alright. You think it's safe for us to stay here at the house?
I wouldn't. If you get the rest of them in a place that they can be moved, I'd head towards Denise. She'll be able to shield you.
Yeah, I'll go talk to Denise once I get up and around.
Yeah, take your time.
What are we gonna do about the others?
Well, the ones who had heartbeats no longer have any.
Fuck.
So bury them.
Yeah,
Probably out in the backyard's a good idea.
I'll make sure to do that.
I mean, Lake Lanier can't get any more haunted.
Oof. You know we got fucking wolves stalking around the lake now?
Yeah, go talk to Denise.
Alright. Alright, well, thank y'all for your offers. I'm gonna go shower.
Yeah,
I feel disgusting.
you'd look disgusting too.
Thanks, sis.
Love you.
And he gets up and kind of politely ushers y'all out of the room so that he can go to his ensuite to shower.
So mages. That is definitely not the twist I was expecting.
And mages with a intent and vengeance as well.
But can I look back into any kind of memory of when I was here, when I was in New Orleans, of did I piss off anybody?
I can say
that-
without a
that-
roll, you know that you didn't.
Do I remember, the fight that drove me out of Atlanta? The incident that drove me out of Atlanta. Do I remember if she had any friends like this?
You knew that she did have some mage friends.
Shit. We really holding grudges that bad.
Esme, do you think that the mages took Lorianne?
Listen, I'm just gonna be clear with y'all. The reason I didn't want anybody to know that I'm here is because I left on some bad terms. It was a big misunderstanding, and it was a whole thing, and I feel horrible about it, and it's, again, mind the term of phrase, water under the bridge now, but
With who?
Left here as in Atlanta.
as in Atlanta, it's because me and Miss Tilly Harris got into a bit of a scuffle.
Oh, great.
I don't blame her at all. I was young and stupid, and I said a bunch of things that I shouldn't have, and I left willingly. I wasn't kicked out or nothing, but I figured I should take a step back from Atlanta to let everything cool off. But she taught me a bunch of stuff, and then when I got a little bit too ambitious, and she rightfully cut me off, and I left in a huff. I was, again, pretty young. You know what it's like when you're small, and I didn't know she'd hold a grudge this bad if she did, because I know Tilly's friends with mages.
I would not immediately jump to the conclusion that Tilly had anything to do with this.
I don't want to either. It's just that's the only person I can think of who doesn't like me. And Proctor and I have never gotten along, but that's for a multitude of other reasons.
It may not have anything to do with you. It may just be something personal between whoever and Josiah.
I appreciate that, but also if these witches are from New Orleans, I don't believe in coincidences.
That's a very good point.
Storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
After we left the bedroom, did we move downstairs? Are we standing in the hallway?
That's up to y'all.
I'm gonna slip away.
Mm-hmm.
When I was looking around to see if there was any signs of forced entry, I would have found the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go in the kitchen, see if I can find a mason jar.
It's a southern household.
Exactly.
There are plenty.
A clean one. And I'm
There
gonna
are plenty.
collect some of the fluid that Aaron found in the stomachs of
Okay.
the human bodies.
Okay.
And just screwed the lid back on and slipped it in her pocket.
Okay.
Not only is it a southern household, it's a southern witch household.
Yeah. So many mason jars.
Deal.
Yeah.
Lots.
So you are able to take some of that fluid.
Okay. And I wipe the outside off, and then I stick it in my pocket.
Okay.
I would be curious to know why a mage would take the vehicle and park it in the parking area of the airport when they were so brazen with how they took over this house.
Well, the humans are the ones that leave marks, and they were hidden. The kindred that were staked don't rot or decay, and they were silent, and I think they were trying to hide, and they did a very good job of it.
You mentioned that you hadn't heard from your sire in about 3 weeks.
Just about.
Was the last week of text messages anything out of the ordinary? Anything raise suspicion?
Something
Anything
tells
weird?
me yes.
Her text did start getting shorter, a little more succinct.
Do I feel like it wasn't her texting me?
That is
I
in fact
don't-
what I'm asking.
Why don't we make that wits and insight?
Two successes.
2 is enough. It didn't feel like her texting, but you figured maybe she was busy, maybe
Yeah.
she was stressed, but now that you're thinking about it.
Yeah, it doesn't quite seem like it was her. Does that make sense? It didn't
It
sound like her.
absolutely does. Would you mind giving me her phone number?
Yeah. And I'll hand it over.
I put it in my phone and
Well, Esme doesn't have a phone, so Claire will.
yeah, just rattle off
Yeah,
the phone
Claire
number.
just, mm-hmm.
I'm like I bring like snacks that I carry specifically
Yeah.
for this reason.
Peanut
She's
butter,
having like
yeah.
a little
Capri Sun and
little
Nutter
Capri
Butter.
Sun. Yeah.
I'll I saved the phone number and then I'm going to see if like that phone is turned off. Just do a GPS ping.
Phone's off.
Okay.
Can you tell the last place it was?
That will require some time, but yes.
Right. Well, this was not what I was expecting. Being welcome back into Atlanta, but I appreciate you guys helping me out.
Do you want to stay here or do you want to go somewhere else?
I'd rather not stay in the home that my siblings were murdered in.
Well,
I mean, it sounds weird, but we were as much of a family as any of us kind of have.
We can. Denise's is probably a good place. You'll be close by, and
There's a reason
you know
why.
that's probably the safest place in Atlanta.
may not be the cleanest though.
Right. Yeah, there's been a lot of changes done to the Camarilla since I've last been here.
You have Mel to thank for that partly.
Well, thank you, Mel.
Let's just hope that it outlasts me.
If what we talked about is true, I think you got a long life ahead of you.
And so it's at this point, Mel and Aaron, your phones buzz with a phone call. Both of you from the same number.
One. Okay.
Group.
So I guess we'll. Hello?
I also answer from the same number. Suspicious.
Hello?
And it is Alima.
Oh, okay.
She says, "Hello. I have run some numbers from the information you texted me, Aaron. I believe we need to meet because it's looking like in order to sustain the amount of kindred we have in Atlanta, we're going to need 137 humans. Please come meet me at my country club for us to discuss this. Thank you." And she hangs up.
And Mel immediately texts the district manager of her Waffle Houses, and the weather is what it is, and we're gonna say that there's something going on weather-wise that needs to close or at least reduce hours on some of the of the wall houses
Okay.
immediately because there is no other way to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for the rest of y'all, you do see Mel and Aaron, very business now.
You want to ride with me, Aaron?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm sure Denise will look out over your vehicle.
And so as you guys speed off into the night to the country club to meet up with Alima, Jenny, you go back to Denise to see through the construction of your new tiny home, which will be delivered the next day. Jackson, or your...
I go somewhere.
Yeah, you go wherever Jacksons go. And Esme, you settle in and get comfortable for a difficult time in Atlanta. And that is where we are going to leave off for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you, Mel and Aaron, for joining us again. And thank you, Eseme, for joining our beautiful cast here. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. We love you very much. Good night.